Good afternoon, YouTube. It is your buddy, Javid Vapes Now, and today we're going to make our first installment video of a series of videos that I wanted to do a long time ago, but really didn't feel qualified yet to do, but have been told by other friends and family members that I should have actually started these videos a long time ago. So I'm just going to talk about my subject of the thumbnail, and I'm not really going to go into a lot of history of myself until I deem it appropriate, or as I give the talk on the subject, uh, then I'll go into that. So the videos are going to be 5-10 minutes maximum each, and hopefully you get some substance out of it. So my first video is on the subject of cognitive strengthening, or to put it really simply so that everyone at home watching this video can get value out of it. How can we strengthen someone's memory or a patient's memory that has had a they're diagnosed with what's called post-traumatic brain syndrome or post-traumatic brain injury. The causation of the symptoms that are existing are a result of a post-traumatic brain injury. So, for example, if you have a patient who experienced a fall, a slip and fall, and just say they damaged the back area of the brain, the occipital area, where the basal ganglia is housed, where the part of the brain, the subtalis, that controls the emotions and also regulation, emotional regulation, and also controls memory. A lot of the memory starts there and initiates there, and we're not sure yet if it is actually stored in those regions of the brain. We think that they may be redistributed out to the parietal, or the parietal areas of the brain, region of the brain, to be stored. We're not real sure on that, on the memories being stored and where they're stored. We kind of have an idea, but we know that the initiation of a memory, the starting of a memory, is happening in the same region of the brain, in the back of the brain. Which is kind of interesting because remember that memories are nothing more than your mind recognizing a series of patterns of chemical reaction and stimuli that occur within the neurons. And the specific unique pattern that specific stimuli cause, that's what a memory is. So a memory is like when you experience something, that stimuli. And it's a certain sequence, and it's unique to whatever that particular stimuli is. And that's how we form memories. And it gets much more complex. It goes so more complex than that. But that's a kind of a little bit of what memories are. So the question that I'm posing and what I've been experimenting with is, we've long believed that patients that work crossword puzzles or use or put actual jigsaw puzzle, table puzzles together, people that do something that requires mental thought, requires them exercising their cognitive abilities. That it seems to strengthen previously weakened states of memory. Um, so I just want to say that I have had people that have been very shied away from doing things on social media or using applications on their phone like their contacts list or their daily planners or just anything really to do with the smartphones, or the digital handheld digital items, because it required for them to utilize their cognitive ability, and to also, they were afraid that they were letting go of a little bit of their uh, memory muscle, that by putting a to-do list in there, by putting all the telephone numbers of the most important people that they call in a contact list, by relying on that digital form of memory storage, of housing crucial information, rather than keeping it here, that was somehow weaken, or wasn't going to help them to maintain their memory muscle strength. So I'm curious if that's probably true to a certain extent. It could be the cause of a lot of today's current people saying that their memory, they make jokes about, oh, I'm getting old quick because I can't remember this number or I can't remember what I was supposed to do today. I hear a lot of people say, I can't remember I can't believe how I forget things much easier today, than I used to. 10 years ago, I used to be able to remember everything I was supposed to do in my day, everything I was supposed to get done. Could that be because we've started relying like completely on these? Is that maybe a part of that? Possibly. And I think that um, there's a lot of evidence that is suggesting that too much dependence on these kind of things is going to be detrimental to the human species in the long run. So, my point of my uh, talk today is if you have someone that is needing to exercise their mind, that is a post traumatic brain injury patient, or is a person that has had something that caused their memory to dull or to have a problem. A person doesn't have to have brain injury in order to have that. A person could have had a traumatic life event or could have had something happen in their life or could have went through some type of really traumatic experience that caused them to have the issues with their cognitive functioning and their memory. So what we need to see is by trying to encourage them to use handheld media devices like smartphones and tablets, we are seeing that that is going to, in the long run, help them to build it and to use it. Now, the video is already 6 minutes, 7 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I am dealing with one or two uh, individuals specifically and testing this theory over the last 5 years if they're able to actually start utilizing social media apps, to-do list apps, phone list apps, all of the different applications that come on the Android and the Apple phones. Are they able to start using them? Because traditionally, and as we know, most people that have these kind of cognitive injuries or past situations, they can never use those type of things, or they just don't. Like they will answer their phones, they will talk on their phones, and that's about as far as they'll go with it, from my experience. It's almost as though they're afraid of those type of technologies. And it's not an age thing. It has nothing to do with age. This is a person's mental condition, right? Is where that comes from. So the two people that I've been experimenting with, two things have happened. At first, they're very resistant. They're very resistant, and you have to really be very careful at how you get them engaged in it. You actually have to like create scenarios in which they don't have a choice but to use that particular application or that particular part functioning of the device. And once they're in a situation where something that they need to do or something that they want to do that brings them pleasure or enjoyment is going to require them to use these things on a very basic level, what happens is once you get their feet wet, once you get them starting to use it, and you've made that first major step, then you're home run. You're home free. But I will caution you, it can be extremely frustrating and it can be extremely testing to whoever's providing the training. If you don't have the patience of Job and you don't have the strength and determination and the caring about the particular person or patient, I wouldn't recommend it because it can be very taxing on the caregiver. Javid Now saying peace out. Have a great day.